Hey, it's Dan. I hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. We're having a Black Friday sale on my website, regenerateyourlife.org. And I know there's a lot of new people that have a lot of questions about how they can learn this style of living, which is the best style of living, which is the most natural. But I also bring in a lot of transitional ideas, textures, flavors, and tastes so that everyone has something to work with, from starting out as a hardcore meat eater, 350 pounds with diabetes, all the way over to the levels of mastery, fruitarianism, liquidarianism, dry fasting, and water fasting. It's all contained within these teachings. So these are my 7 best selling online classes. Detox Mastery is the second best selling online class that I produced. It's a very simple, easy to follow raw food detoxification program. There's level 1 beginner, level 2 intermediate, and level 3 advanced. You get a PDF. It's very simple and it's very doable for anybody. You can pick the level that you want, 1, 2, or 3, and you just go for it. And you'll see a huge shift when you take away the cooked oils, when you take away the meat, when you take away the milk and cheese and bread, and you bring in the fresh living fruits, vegetables, salads, juices, soaked nuts and seeds for protein. Then you're going to start to see some big changes, because the foods that I use and recommend are the non-toxic foods that are available to us in society today to lose weight and detoxify. If you do a periodic detoxification, you can stave off the cancer. 1 in every 2 people are getting cancer. I don't mean to be a scare tactic, but I just understand it. It makes sense. The reason that it's happening is because of our lifestyle, our modern lifestyle. And I've been working tirelessly to educate people on how to avoid the pain and the suffering that is sure to arise following the modern lifestyle, which is a lifestyle and a cultural conditioning based on profit over people. These online classes are people over profit. It's truth over lies. It's how to heal and regenerate and stay out of the hospital for your entire life so that you don't have to be on drugs. 35% of the people are on opiates because they're in so much pain because the foods are so inflammatory. So get on the alkaline foods. You need some acid foods for energy, but we are predominantly an acid forming food, dead food society with lots of different acids that accumulate in the body, leading to cellulite, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, brain fog, autoimmune, stiff joints, arthritis, and skin disorders and gut disorders. So these fruits and vegetables and these juices that are in Detox Mastery are a game changer. So for the price alone, this is worth it because it'll change your life. Okay. Next is Juicing Mastery. I've been juicing every day for almost 23 years now. My parents bought me a Champion juicer 23 years ago, and I started using it every day. I've been juicing every day for 23 years. It's a game changer. I understand the argument and the philosophy because I love to look at nature and, emulate as much of that as I can. I do that even more. I still use the juicer every day though, because as you may or may not know, our food is really depleted. I mean, this isn't like a selling tactic. It's really the truth. I mean, when you like I'm a gardener. My garden is right out. I'm looking at it right now, and it's taken me a year and a half to build that soil into okay soil. It's going to be great soil one of these days because I got this guy who's building this. He is the master of masters, and he is working on it. It's going to take 6 months for him to get me a couple of yards of mineral rich dirt with worm castings in it. Anyways, The juicing is a way to get more minerals with less digestive and vital force being used. So juicing is a great way. Your body's a juicing machine anyways. And so once you pull out the fiber, which you do need fiber, there's actually fiber in the juices, believe it or not, for the microorganisms in your gut. But the juicing is a way to hydrate. I mean, people are just dehydrated. The water quality is low. We're drinking out of plastic. It's like tap water anyways. And so these living waters that are structured with consciousness and energy not only feed your brain natural information and energy, but also hydrate you deeply, also allowing for ATP, energy production. The glucose in the fruits and vegetables feeds your brain. The minerals allow for the electrical impulses in your body to be conducted so all your glands function. And it also allows you to detoxify the heavy metals, the viruses, and the mucus that they live in from the normal foods, from the animal foods, from the grains and the starches that leave behind residues that the microorganisms, parasites, viruses, fungus, yeast, and molds can all proliferate. You want to really clean out your body and have a very simple, basic diet. And instead of eating for pleasure or eating as a pastime or eating as a fetish, which is to become in our society, you learn in these classes what I've had to teach myself is that food is a practical matter. It's a tool that you use to live a great life. So you eat to support your art, your passion, your vision, your goals. Instead of food being like the number one thing, it becomes something that's just a useful tool that you use to heal, regenerate, energize, and create a good life for yourself and your family, because health is now and always was. Investing in yourself and investing in your health is, was, and always will be, because you are going to be stuck with you. Houses, cars, relationships, status, jobs, they all come and go. But one thing you want to keep to the best of your ability is your health. So juicing is the daily juicing habit. I cannot recommend that enough. It's been a game changer for me, and it's completely transformed my consciousness along with raw and living foods. And you can see that when you get on these raw foods, it awakens you to another dimension. It resensitizes you. You know, the cooked food, the processed food, the dead food, it desensitizes you. The living food resensitizes you, and you may need to make adjustments in your life. But it'll be worth it, you know? So let's move on to blending mastery. Obviously, you know, smoothies, dressings are key. How to use the blender to create delicious, nutritious foods for you and your family so that you can, you know, transition no matter where you're at. You know, a blender is very helpful. You don't need any of the tools. You don't even need a cutting board. You know, you just need apples and bananas and oranges and celery sticks and cucumbers and tomatoes and watermelons and lemons and limes and coconuts and kale and cilantro and dill and basil and holy basil and vegetables and fruits. Simple. And the more simple you eat, the better. But we've all got so much conditioning that it takes time to really work your way, and you want these tools so that you can eat healthily. If you don't have the tools, you are more likely to slip back. So get an education from someone who I feel, I mean, I'll just tell a quick little story. I had a guy who is, you know, a restaurateur. He knows all the raw people, all the cooked people, travels all over, restaurateur. He came over just a couple nights ago. He ate my food, and he said, this is the best raw food I've ever had. And he knows all the top raw food chefs. He's eaten at all their restaurants. And I just have a way. I have no training. I trained myself. I just took fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, and I just played and played and played and played for 17 years. So it's all this here is very unique. It's a very unique way. It's my own signature way. I guess I learned few things from Lou. The coconut yogurt is a game changer. The culturization with the probiotics. I'm really grateful to Lou for that. But then I took what he taught me and made it my own and made up all these crazy new things. And one thing I can't wait to share with you soon, probably next year, I'll probably come back with some videos. I'm working real hard on some stuff right now and just haven't felt like being on camera for millions of different reasons. But I took the Gorilla Milk, for example, and made like 10 different other milks out of that. And it's like amazing. I put some of them up on Instagram and stuff like that, but I've been mastering them. And then Tavis, yesterday, we just made up a brand new one. There's gorilla milk and then there's monkey milk. And it's a really awesome thing using bananas. But anyways, let's move on to Dan's favorite raw food recipes. There's my world famous spaghetti where it all started for me, God, in New York years ago when there was a butternut squash challenge. Of course, I didn't win because the chefs were very threatened. They were all cooked chefs, and I was the only raw person there. And everyone in the whole place was like, wow, your food was the best. I mean, I brought enough for everyone. There was probably 50 people there. I had a giant, humongous bowl, the biggest bowl of spaghetti you've ever seen in your life, with olives and celery and red peppers and sun-dried tomato sauce. And everybody there was like, dude, you should have won that contest. But you know, I saw it in their faces. The judges were 3 cooked chefs. They were like, this guy is a direct threat. This is healthy and tastes better than our food. Anyways, the restaurant where the competition was held, he hired me, and it was a vegan restaurant, and then he became half vegan, half raw. That's how this light works. That's how these codes, this information, this knowledge, this passion, this love that I carry within me. It's like a light that once you get this and you just watch these videos, or you watch the videos on YouTube, or you just even reading my Instagram posts and stuff like that. But my best raw food knowledge is in these DVDs, these online classes right here, because the structure with Ricky's left brain and then my right brain creativity and my years of experience and that light that I'm carrying, it makes it much more absorbable. So Dan's raw food recipes, there's a nice salad. I don't know what we got there, but there's dressings and salads and all my top, like I think 12 or 14 of my absolute fallbacks, for people that just want to have recipes that take like 10 or 15 minutes to make, but that are absolutely fantastic in flavor, deliciousness, but no cooked fat, no cooked starches. So none of the more detrimental foods, And obviously I'm always promoting organic as much as possible. When you learn about the GMOs and the pesticides that are endocrine disruptors, you really do go towards as much local vegan or raw and organic food as you possibly can. So you want to educate yourself on where your food is coming from, who's growing it, what their intention is. I know it's not the most practical thing for everybody, but everybody should know more about what they're putting in their body, the type of books they're reading, the entertainment they're, exposing themselves to, and the people you hang around. And if it's not a good vibe and it's not lifting you up and feeding your soul spirit, your light energy, like if the food doesn't feed your light body, then it's probably killing you. And if the people that you hang around aren't feeding you and making you feel joyful, if they're draining you with guilt and shame and making you feel bad about yourself and judging you, it's like, I would just move. We get too trapped. We got to get free. Too many people get trapped in obligation and guilt. And I live with my family and my parents treat me like crap. And I'm like 28 years old and I'm married and my kids and my husband, we live there. And it's like, this is terrible. And it's like, you got to move. You got to do something and get on with your life. Get out of those energy fields of people that treat you like crap. I don't put up with it. I don't have very many friends. I don't hang around with that many people because I have an exemplary high level of who's going to treat me that way, or I'm going to turn my back and walk the other way, and you ain't never going to see me again, and I'm going to avoid you. I'll love you, but I'm not going to hang around you, because if you get down into the negative stinking thinking, and you're just going to be a bad vibe and a drain, I understand we have a lot of pain, we have a lot of suffering, we've all been through a lot, But it doesn't mean we need to harp on it, and we need to be conscious of what energy we're sharing with other people. Are we like a burnout Betty, or are we going to be, you know, just, even in spite of the challenges and in spite of the pain that, most people have, do you want to focus on that and be like a victim, or do you want to keep using that poop for compost to grow into a stronger, better person? Low fat, raw vegan recipes for energy and weight loss. This is going to be for people who want to lose weight. This is very low fat and very simple, clean, pure, basic foods. There's various levels to the raw food diet. Right now, where I thrive is, my average diet day to day, when I'm on a more of a sustaining program, I'm just more of a high carb, high fat, high protein, raw vegan. Fat is very stabilizing for me energetically, but at the same time, these low fat, high alkaline, more calorie moderate diets can energize a person with diabetes or obesity or chronic degenerative condition, and help you to get your energy up while keeping the calories so that you're not starving, you're full, because you have all the fiber from the raw foods and the water. It's the water in the raw foods that fills you up. That's why when you eat cooked food, you eat and eat and eat and eat and eat, and that you're still eating the macaroni and cheese, you're still stuffing in the pizza when you're totally full and uncomfortable. But when you eat the foods with the water in them, lettuce, zucchini, cucumber, melons, fruits, berries, you get full because it's the water that fills you up, but there's a calorie deficit. So when you cook the food, you cook out all the water, you cook out all the minerals, you cook out all the living fiber, all the things that fill you up and satisfy you at a biological level. And so you eat more calories of the foods that have less fiber, less water. The minerals are destroyed, the vitamins are destroyed. So cooking food really does destroy the food. Entirely? No. Can you live off of it? Of course. But you will never be the same on a cooked food diet as you will be on a raw living foods diet. I know the raw food people, I know the cooked food people, I know the half and halfers. I will tell you, the 100% raw with fruits and herbs and nuts and seeds as the base, I will tell you, it's a whole nother world of consciousness, energy, health, heart, and digestion. You just don't have all the problems that people have. Like, I got to take these purple pills, I got to be on all these pharmaceutical drugs, and it's just terrible. So get on the live foods. And if you need to lose weight, this is magnificent. And transitioning to raw, this is just how to succeed on a 100% raw food diet. And so this has got a variety of recipes and a whole bunch of philosophy on how to go from, the cultural conditioning of cooked food. I'm like 1 in 10 million. So I have enemies on all sides, but I'm still telling the truth. It's just that it's inconvenient to really be sensitive in this world. But it's the only way to truly wake up and truly become empowered, is to be sensitive and aware of what's going on inside of you as well as outside of you. And the raw living foods is that. So I can understand why I look at this world, and I understand why 35% of the people are on opioids. I understand why 80% of the people are on pharmaceutical drugs. But you'll find out that, putting more pharmaceutical toxins on top of the toxins that are already blocking the flow of your joy through your endocrine glands, through feeding the microorganisms in your gut, depending on what you feed your gut, is what your gut is going to feed your brain. And there's a lot of different, on the spectrum, there's a lot of different levels that you can go to. You can get to anywhere you want to be, and you have to find your balance of what you're going to live with and how you're going to live. I'm more considered extreme just because I see the light and I'm running towards it, because to race for the crown of the glory of life has always been what I've been doing. And that's why I do the raw foods. That's why I do the fasting. That's why I barefoot and breathing and avoid a lot of negativity and, I just don't get involved in a lot of the things that are going on culturally. I'm not out of touch. I'm not into the whole hoopla of it all. I'm really into nature. I'm really into the truth. I'm really into light and energy management so that I feel good every day. Not so that I prioritize on my health and feeling well. And so if you get off track, you'll be drained and your adrenals will be shot and you won't even realize that you're around people that are draining you dry every day at a job or in a wrong relationship or your old high school friends that you're still hanging around even though you've started to change. You fall back into that. And if you're not super sensitive and awake and aware and responsible, you'll keep falling back into that. You'll fall into the old patterns of drugs, or you'll fall into the patterns of drinking coffee or eating cooked foods or ice cream or sugar or ways of thinking, or, even like gossiping at church about other people when you know that's wrong. So let's move on to the last one, lose a pound a day the healthy way with fruits and vegetables. Eat all you want, lose weight and gain health. This is my very first DVD that I did. I don't know, 6 years ago or something. It's the #1 bestseller. It's the most simple, basic one before I even really knew what I was doing. I got better and better at production value, but at the same time, these truths here in Lose a Pound a Day the Healthy Way are as applicable today as they were when I first did it 6 years ago. Fresh fruits and vegetables, all you want, the water, the fiber, the antioxidants, the flushing of the system of all the acids that make you have cellulite and a big bubble stomach and bloating and gas and, constipation from all the modern foods, which, I could go on and on forever about GMOs and pesticides and antibiotics and medical care and all that, and stress and improper food combining and so on and so forth. So eat simple, basic fruits, drink the vegetable juices, and you will be stoked. You will lose weight, and you can lose a pound a day. Believe me, because I have hundreds of people that I've talked to personally and thousands that I've heard from in emails and stuff. My stepmom is one of them. She lost 59 pounds in 60 days. There was another guy that lost 95 pounds in 90 days doing this program, and neither one of them did it all the way right. They cheated a little bit here and there. My mom ate a little cheese. This other guy, he ate some toasted almonds and stuff like that, but they were slamming the fruits and the vegetable juices, and that allowed them to become alkaline, lose the weight. My stepmom has kept the weight off. The other guy that lost the 95 pounds, he became very conscious. He awoke to so many things. And so lose a pound a day is also included in this bundle. Buy now, $47, 30-day money back guarantee, of course. Wow, over 12,000 happy customers. And you can watch these online instantly, and you become a part of my online school. And then all these videos, you'll track your progress. And you can do one of these a week and take notes and be prepared for the new year to transform your life. Because I'm telling you right now, I've seen it. I have my own experiences. I've seen for 17 years people come and go. I've seen what happens when they're 100% raw, clean eating and then fall back to cooked food. I see what happens to their skin. I see what happens to their glow. I see what happens to their consciousness. And natural living food is going to transform you from the inside out. And if you stick with it, you will become a completely different human being. And then you will get triggered to go on to the next level and the next level of health and spiritual evolution. You will get hungry. It will create a hunger because you'll become sensitive to the inner voice, which is calling to all, but only few listen. I hope that you're one of the people who listen to that inner voice guiding you to the highest, an overcomer of the illusions of this world so you can live happily and joyfully. And that's what raw food is about to me, is about supporting that spiritual journey into the highest states of awareness and joy and happiness and health and love. And the illumination, more importantly than anything else, the illumination of the understanding heart for the people that are behind you, for lack of a better way, to have compassion for them, to be in reverence and awe and respect for the people that are ahead of you in different areas of life, to be humble, to want to learn from them, and also to have the understanding heart for yourself, for your own limitations, for your own journey, working really hard to follow your vision. It's a constant commitment, and you have to stay in a state of persistence, courage, faith. And it all is included in these online classes. That energy, what comes through. And the only thing I can say now is that everything I've said is true. And now I even understand it more and more and more as my journey continues. I cannot emphasize live foods, pure foods, self-care, periodic detoxification to stave off cancer, diabetes, and all the other diseases that are skyrocketing for the multitude of reasons. And you have to protect yourself. Your doctor, he doesn't know anything. Nutritionists don't know much. There's a lot of great little diet stuff, but it isn't really real. It can help a little bit to alleviate your symptoms, but to truly detoxify all the way down to the bones, the cigarettes, the drugs, the vaccines, all the things that are in the air, the things that are in the water, all the NyQuil you took, all the, drugs you took as a child that your mom gave you, that if she would have known better, she would have stopped putting a lot of mucus forming foods in your body that would have slowed down the viral infections, and you would have been able to detoxify the mucus, the acids naturally, instead of suppressing it with all the different types of suppressant drugs that we have. Yeah, you stop the nose running and you stop the coughing, but at what expense? You just suppress and push all those toxins deep down in, so that later on, when you get more mature and older, you realize, I need to detox. I'm 100 pounds overweight and I don't feel good because we lived a life of suppression of symptoms when we really wanted to take a day or 2 or 3 off from eating and let all that mucus and all those acids pass through the system and be released, so that you could live free from the accumulation of toxins. So detox, juicing, blending, these epic recipes, low fat for energy and weight loss, transitioning to raw, lose a pound a day. Get it right now, $47, a deal of a lifetime. Like I said, it's $273 worth of my best training for $47. So get that, get stoked, and I will talk with you soon. Thank you very much. Aloha.